Your Agent Brad, and I'm in downtown Rochester. And again, I say I'm trying to find those hidden gems. There's nothing hidden about this place. I want you to check out Red Naps here in downtown with owner Matt Kirschner. Let's go check this place out. Your Agent Brad here, and I'm inside Red Naps, and I'm sitting down with the owner, Matt Kirschner. Matt, obviously everyone's following you on social media. I love all the content that you're putting out there, which is really cool. This restaurant has been here a long time. I'm very curious on your story, how you got here. You look kind of young to me. I'm an old guy compared to you. So when I walk in here to see a guy your age owning a restaurant in a city like Rochester Hills and Rochester, it kind of means something to me. So tell me a little bit about your story and how you came here.
For sure. Well, first of all, I appreciate the kind words with the content and all that stuff. But it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Like 9 years old, I started doing lemonade stands, and I would convince my friends to come shovel driveways with me. Every snow day that we had, they'd want to go sledding. I'm like, we can just chunk out like 2 hours, get some money, and then let's go do that afterwards.
Buy new sleds.
Exactly, yeah. So like I've kind of always been business minded. I just never knew really where I'd end up.
Okay.
And funny enough, with restaurants, I actually spent a decade working in restaurants and trying to get out at the same time.
Okay.
So it's funny that I just decided to buy one at the same time.
Hello. Thank you so much.
Today?
We're doing good.
Good. My name is Sarah. I'll be taking care of you guys.
All right.
What can I get you to start to drink for now?
I'm good with water.
Okay.
I'm good with water. I'll actually order. What's your favorite burger?
My favorite burger is probably the Mikey's double cheese, just because I'm a plain person. The garlic sauce on there, I put on everything else that we have.
Okay.
And who doesn't like pickles and cheese?
Right.
Our most popular though is probably the deluxe. That's one we've been doing for the longest time. If you come in and you say, I want a burger with everything on it, that's what I'm going to put in for you.
I'm going to go with your pick.
Okay,
All right.
gotcha.
And then I got to try a milkshake. What's your favorite milkshake?
Cookies and cream.
Let's do it.
Okay, gotcha.
Awesome.
Do you want any whipped cream?
Would you put whipped cream on yours?
Probably.
Let's do it. Awesome.
Awesome, yeah. So, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't know, I just kind of was following your story, learning about it. How did you end up here? Did you grow up here?
So I actually grew up in Troy, so just right down the road here.
Okay.
Yeah. My journey kind of took me a little bit all over Michigan.
Okay.
So halfway through my junior year, I moved with my aunt and uncle up in Harbor Springs.
Okay.
And I kind of finished out high school there. Almost finished out high school. I ended up being one semester short, and they kind of gave me the option to either leave or get expelled. So I just signed myself out. Just kind of went out my way. But what I ended up doing was later on, I was like, you know what? They kind of put me in this box of the minute I walked into that school, they said, we don't want your Detroit crap up here. You better not be influenced by, literally 5 seconds of walking into this school. So like really set the tone in that way. That kind of just put me like, well, I don't even want to be here if you don't want me here.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
I ended up getting there. I went and took my GED just to prove that I could.
Right.
Did a semester of college at OCC when I ended up moving back down here and realized that the school just wasn't for me. I don't learn that way.
Right.
But the amount of stuff that I've learned on the internet from people like Gary Vee and Ed Milet and Jay Shetty, all this information, I was able to impact other people and do my own way versus having to go the traditional school route.
Okay.
So I worked in a machine shop for a while, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and the entire time I just had podcasts and audiobooks in my ear for 9 months straight.
Okay.
And that really kind of like set the tone for my confidence to lead into something else.
Cool.
But I wasn't making that much money. So I can back up a little bit. When I moved with my aunt, she ended up kicking me out after I got kicked out of school. So 17 years old, I was on my own, just trying to like figure out my way. So
Right.
I was homeless for like a year and a half at that point.
Wow.
Just like kind of sometimes couch surfing. At one point I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment with 5 people and
my
just
goodness.
trying to like
All
get
up there or down here?
This was all up here,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
And then I got to the point where I was like, I need to come back down here. This is where the opportunity's at. If I really talking about building a business my whole life, like it's going to be here, not there, right? It's all seasonal work up there. It's nothing.
Yeah,
Can't really build much there.
Once Labor Day hits, which we're approaching real soon, it seems like everything shuts down
For sure.
until the snow falls, and then we got the skiers and everything like that. But that economy is so based on what other people are doing, and that weather it plays a big. They say every time it snows, it's money up there.
100%.
Right.
Yeah. So I just didn't see myself building anything in that realm, and again, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to own my own business.
Okay.
So I ended up coming back down here. That's when I got to the machine shop, and then shortly after, my brother was working next door at the Chop House, and he'd been there for 14 years, and he said, "Do you know anyone that's looking to cook?" And in my mind, I'm like, okay, I could probably make more money cooking than, you know, the 72 hours a week I'm spending at this place, right?
Yeah.
Just because, unfortunately, I did get in some trouble while I was up there. I ended up getting a felony, unfortunately, and that really left me in the position to either work in restaurants or machine shops.
Yeah,
and that was
once you have that on your record, it's kind of limited where you're going from there.
Absolutely,
But
yeah.
now you got to get creative, which obviously is where you thrive the best.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just made a decision at some point. I was like, I need to change my life. I need to do the right things. If I keep talking about doing this, building this business, I have to actually do it, you know? And so I just separated myself from all the people I was surrounding myself with, because that was just a huge part of it. Just the people I was around was, you know, going on a certain path, and I knew I had to separate to get into the right path.
Right.
So when I took this opportunity with my brother next door, and I was there for about a year and a half. I was building a podcast editing business on the side. So I had a Major League Baseball player as a client. My buddy Dan in Arizona did this podcast called the Modern Cowboy Podcast. Go check it out.
What's it called?
The Modern Cowboy.
Okay.
So he's all about the Western lifestyle. So he's had like big actors on. Like I think he's somewhere around 300 episodes. So he's crushing it. Him and I met in 2018 and kind of started our online presence at the same time. That's when I made my first post. That's when I launched a podcast. I ended up doing 56 episodes because I was like super introverted. Like most people, when I tell that now, they're like, yeah, I don't see that side of it. But
when we first met, you said that to me, and I was like, I don't see that, man.
Yeah.
You're in the bush jumping out in front of you right now.
That took me 3 years. I wanted to do that for 3 years, and I was just like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, right? But we met in 2018, and I'm like, okay, I launched a podcast, he's launching a podcast. We just talked every week, like, what's working for you, what's not working. But my entire intention with the podcast was just to break out of my comfort zone. I was scared to talk to people, so I knocked on every single door in Detroit and I said, hey, I'd love to interview you about your business and hear what you got going on. And that was really just me helping get out of that introvertedness and have the conversation, right? So build a network, all that stuff, all the stuff that I'm learning from, you know, the Gary V's and all these guys. Like, these are the things you need to do. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start doing them. So my content didn't really expand from there because I'm like, I don't really know what to create, except for the podcast.
That's the struggle. You always want to do it, and even with these videos and some of the other stuff that we do, it's like you can get blocked when you're thinking too much. Like, do I have enough? Is there enough content? Are people willing to watch it?
Yeah, exactly, for sure. So then fast forward, I'm at the Chop House. I was there for about a year and a half, and the pandemic hits. All right, I watched all my friends get laid off, like 60 people. It was me, my brother, my sous chef, my general manager, like just running carryouts. I think there was maybe one other person, but you know, 5 out of 60 was just like this. It was quiet in there. It was weird. The dining rooms the lights were off. So I did that. Let's see. I think it was like 4 or 5 months, and then Bill Cruz walked in, who owns all the Cruz and Mirrors. And I'm vacuuming this vent in the kitchen. He's like, come down here. He's like, well, why aren't you in a management position? I said, look, this is like a means to the end for me. I got this podcast thing on the side. I'm trying to, you know, build some businesses. I'm just not sure what direction I'm going. And we kind of talked about this place being up for sale around that same time. He's like, well, I might get into this. I'm like, well, you're in your 70s. There's no way you're going to want to run this on a day-to-day. Like, you know, let me hop in the equation. And so we sat down for a couple meetings, and at the same time, they just opened Paint Creek Tavern. So he's like, look, I just opened this restaurant. I'm not going to go forward on this, but I'll introduce you to Roger if you're interested in that. So I was like, okay, I think that'd be a cool opportunity, and it'd be 100% mine. So I sat down with Roger. Like, he literally sat right across. I sat right here, and for a solid month, we just get together. He like vetted me, asked me questions, and made sure that I was the right fit. There's Comet Burger in Royal Oak. They were bidding for here. And there was another big chain that was bidding for this location. So I was kind of like in a war with them. But Roger, because I wanted to keep the vision alive, I wanted to keep his father's legacy continued, that he ended up just choosing me to move the things forward. So
what a great story. It's super cool. So you get in the restaurant. Now you're back in the restaurant business, which you wanted to get out of. What do you love most about this place?
The opportunity to meet new people. Like I even, again, I'm gonna go back to the introverted thing. And this hallway here, like, because it was just me and my brother working in the kitchen at the beginning, we'd cook all the food, and then I'd get in this hallway and I'd be like, okay, all right, I gotta go touch all these tables, I gotta go talk to these people, I gotta build relationships, I gotta do the stuff that makes me uncomfortable. So I would hype myself up that whole walk in here, and then I'd step up, and then boom, 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 go, how's your food, how's this, da da da. And just the people that I've met in this time frame, especially like the people early on that, I had no idea what I was doing. Right? I had managed restaurants, or sorry about that.
No.
I had managed a pizzeria for 5.5 years at that point, so I had that experience, and I was pretty much doing everything. They offered me equity to stay in as acting owner, but there was 5 other people, and I would have been the 6th. And I'm like, even if we took it to a couple million,
a lot of pieces in there. That you got to split.
So I turned that down, but I was like, if I ever saw another opportunity, I'm gonna go for it, and that was this. So
how old are you?
Right now I'm 29. I opened when we were 26.
That is awesome. I don't even want to tell you what I was doing when I was 26.
It's probably more or less the same stuff I was doing in my early 20s.
But without the success. But what a cool story. Everyone loves a good feel-good story, but you got it for you personally. When you wake up in the morning, what you've built right now, it's just got to be a great feeling. And I see when I come in here, obviously being in walking distance from our office, I see your employees. Everyone's happy. Everyone's coming out of here with a smile on your face, and it looks like generally a great place to work.
Thank you.
I commend you for that, and obviously all your hard work's paying off. I'm gonna have this burger
for sure,
right? And we'll just keep following you and kind of go where it is. And would there possibly be another location? What's next for you?
Yeah, so this will be the first time I've shared this online. Really, I've talked to a lot of like our guests that have been supporting us from day one. They gave me the confidence to keep going early on. You're doing great. I love your menu changes. You're so much cleaner and all that stuff. But my intention has kind of been the intention since day one, right? I wanted to. I signed a 5-year lease, right, and it was in the pandemic, so you never know what's going to happen. But my intention was, if it's got a foundation, I can put the social behind it, and build it up like that. At the end of 5 years, that would be my last day in the restaurant industry. So I know it's pretty crazy to think about.
So you've done all this, and now you're going to be done after the 5 years?
Yeah. So here's the thing: is what I realize is restaurants are one of the hardest industries to take on. Right. The failure rate's 90% fail within the first year. Right. Right. So we're in year 3 right now, and we've been able to grow year after year and month after month. We've seen growth. But I had to take this place from a lot of people be like, oh, it's a staple in this city. It was doing so great. But if you look at the P&Ls, it wasn't doing that great.
Perception is everything, right? You see the name and you see the nice lights and you see the area and you're like, they got to be killing it, right?
Yeah, for sure. Right. So everyone sees that from the outside, but I got the numbers behind it, and it just wasn't doing great. So I had to pull this thing out from the mud, which took on the hardest industry, made it profitable in the hardest time. So my theory was, if I can do that in this 5-year span, whatever business I build on the back end or outside of this is going to be awesome. So
any insights on what the next journey is?
Yeah, so it's going to be like really quiet for my socials, but my social aspect, the reason I'm doing the Bushman content and dressing up in the security outfit is because I want to continue my content creation career for the next 20-30 years. So that is like what I love so much. I love the behind the scenes. I love building this thing, filming, editing. But my wife and I also started an e-commerce business. So we're focused on sustainable goods, products that we believe in are beneficial for people versus like we eliminate all the chemicals from our house. So like basically what we use to wash our clothes is borax and vinegar versus like all the detergents and all this stuff that, because it leaks into your clothes, and then that leaks into your pores, and you're getting
especially babies and stuff like that. You get rashes. I remember when my kids were little, like, I think that you might be allergic to the detergent or something like that, and it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that like we're doing all the research behind it.
Thank you.
So we just launched. We've got our LLC started. We got our logos designed, and we're in like kind of just the product creation sector. We're just going to do private label goods, so stuff that's already being produced, we're just going to slap our label on it, but we got to make sure it's the right product. So that's kind of like where we're at with it.
Good for you, man.
Yeah,
that is so awesome, and what a great story, and I wish you the best of luck. I'm going to tear into this burger, my man, and again, your success is just it's been fun to watch, and it's going to be sad to see you go in 5 years, but hey, you're going to leave a great legacy. So thanks, my man.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys doing this.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. All right. Well, we had a great conversation with Matt and learned a little bit about where he came from and how he got to this point. But hey, though Matt's a great owner, I have to say the best part about it is the burgers and the shakes here. So if you guys are interested, come on down, check out this burger. Hands down, best burger in Rochester. If you come in here, tell Matt your agent Brad sent you. Everyone have a great day. Take care, y'all.